is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Welcome into a special edition. Every day is a special edition of Main Street Sports Today. We are live on location at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame in downtown Nashville, where we will be joined by the one and only Brad Willis with the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Also, a gentleman who has residency in the building, Pete Weber, voice of the Nashville Predators, there in action tonight. Pete will stop by also. Plus, Jimbo's problem with the NIL. Jimbo has a problem hard to believe. We've got the Daily Braves update and Top 5 Tuesday Hollywood duos. Going to be a fun one. Every one of them always is. Now to a couple of fun guys themselves. The Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton, with the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao. Gentlemen.
Where? Can't find them.
Sorry.
Hadn't seen a gentleman yet.
Sorry.
No. What's going on? Hope you guys are having a great day. Boy, what a fantastic venue this is for a talk show. Oh, it could not be any better than looking at the faces of the most famous and accomplished Tennesseans in sports history as we are here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. A beautiful, beautiful Tuesday outside of the little bit of wind, but it's not too bad. Oh man, what a great day it's been. What a great day it's going to be.
Yeah, and as good a day as it's been, it's going to get even better here in about 2 hours when the Braves World Series Championship Trophy Tour arrives out on the plaza here at Bridgestone Arena. Right now, I guess it's wrapping up its stay over at the Country Music Hall of Fame. So,
where we have seen some youngsters running around downtown.
As we were coming in to get set up, we saw families with school-age kids. So either they were homeschoolers on a field trip, or they were cutting class, which I think is fantastic parenting right there.
Either way, great parenting.
Absolutely.
There's no question there.
No question.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to reserve our top story today. Our top story comes from just down the way off of Wedgwood, where the Nashville soccer team has three technically new owners, but only two of them super notable. Sorry, Reese Witherspoon's husband. I don't even know his name.
It's like that
two celebrities and another guy.
Like that Alan Jackson song, I'm in love with a waitress.
And I don't even know her name.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so a couple of new owners for Nashville Soccer Club, and that we'll talk about that a little bit later. I thought that was interesting. And, again, JP told you all the great things we're going to talk about today, including the Braves and Jimbo Fisher. Brad Willis joins us here shortly, and Pete Weber as well. Of course, we'll get to our top 5 later in the show. So let's send it back to JP because we need to get yesterday's 12 scores and today's schedule as we give you the rundown.
This is the Rundown. This is your Tuesday Rundown brought to you by Jim. Call at 615-682-0022. Securities offered through IFP Securities, LLC, DBA Independent Financial Partners, IFP member, FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice offered through IFP Advisors, LLC, DBA Independent Financial Partners, Registered Investment Advisor. IFP and Grow Loop Give are not affiliated. All right, here we go. The Tuesday Rundown. High school baseball scores from Monday. Good Pasture 16-4 winners over Ezel Harding. It was Clarksville Northwest 18-2 over Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Henry County 7-2 winners over Dixon County. White House Heritage 13-1 over Joe Burns. And the battle for Lawrence County, the Civil War, Loretto 1, Summertown nada, 0.
Clint Seymour took a no-hitter into the 7th in that one, 6 2/3.
All right,
to be exact.
Never expect anything less than great baseball between those two. Softball yesterday, Columbia Academy 2, Baylor 1. That was in 9 innings. And, Mo, you had updates on that all evening.
Carly Quillen with a solo shot in the top of the ninth. Wins
Woo.
that one for the Lady Bulldogs. Bodes pretty well for the two-time defending state champions in 2 different classifications.
Now Baylor has also won some state championships.
Some. Yeah.
Plural.
Yeah, some.
a few of their own. So
Yeah, makes that
Yeah.
trip to Chattanooga all the better. Clarksville 11-2 over Henry County yesterday. Good Pasture 8-6 over Davidson Academy. It was Greenbrier 10, Montgomery Central 3. Station Camp 2-0 over Gallatin, and Wayne County 13-3 over Colioca. And boys soccer on the pitch yesterday. One match got in the books, and they ended where they started in a tie. But they each scored 3 goals. CPA and Innsworth tied at 3 yesterday. All right, taking a look. I tell you what, let me get back here because I have the rundown. Let me get that rolling. All right, back to the baseball schedule for today. In about 24 minutes from now, Middle Tennessee Monarchs at Good Pasture. They'll start a doubleheader at 2:30 baseball. 4 o'clock this afternoon, Laverne at Antioch. Seymour Christian at Zion Christian. At 4:30, Davidson Academy will be at University School of Jackson.
Nashville.
Nashville, thank you. I have Jackson in my head, and I see this every day. University School of Nashville. There you go. Murfreesboro Central Magnet at Hillwood. Pope John Paul II is at Brentwood Academy. Also at 4:30, you'll see Beach at Hunters Lane. Ezel Harding is at Lighthouse Christian from Antioch. Lipscomb Academy hosting Father Ryan. Pearl Crone will be at Stratford. East Nashville welcomes Whites Creek today. Providence Christian at Franklin Road Academy. Middle Tennessee Christian is at Innsworth. CPA at MBA at 5 o'clock. These games will throw out their first pitch. Colioca at Hampshire. Mount Pleasant will welcome Cascade. Columbia is at Riverdale. Clarksville Christian at Tennessee Heat. And at 5:30 today, Trousdale County and East Robertson, also Sycamore at Clarksville Academy. Santa Fe will welcome Wayne County. West Creek will travel to Springfield at 5:45. Scotts Hill welcomes Madison Academy. At 6 tonight, Watertown at Smyrna. Siegel at Oakland. Blackman at Rockville. At 6:30, you'll see Cane Ridge at Stewart's Creek. Loretto at Summertown, Part 2. Ravenwood at Summit. Clarksville at Rossview, also at 6:30. On the diamond today, Harpeth at Fairview. Franklin welcomes Brentwood. No love lost there. Maplewood versus Glencliff. Speaking of no love lost, Nolensville Independence. I'm sure they are building up quite the little rivalry. Lawrence County at Marshall County. Lincoln County at Page. Portland welcomes Montgomery Central. Spring Hill is at Tullahoma this evening. Also at 6:30, White House Heritage and Joe Burns. At 7 bells tonight, Dixon County at Clarksville Northeast. McGavock at Gallatin. Greenbrier hosting Creekwood Station Camp at Hendersonville. Green Hill welcomes Cookeville. Hickman County is at Mount Pleasant. Mount Juliet at Wilson Central. Also today, Moore County and Eagleville will play, as will John Over and Centennial. Check your local offices, front offices for game times there. Softball today, as we switch over here. Sorry, I'm working multiple tabs here. There we go, back to it. Softball today, Franklin Road Academy at Middle Tennessee Christian. This is a 4 o'clock start. At 4:15, Maplewood is at MLK, Martin Luther King. At 4:30, a slew of games include Cane Ridge hosting Smyrna, Brentwood Academy at Father Ryan. Ezel Harding will be at Good Pasture today. St. Cecilia Academy welcomes Inworth. Lipscomb Academy hosts CPA. Pope John Paul II is at Harpeth Hall. Grace Christian Franklin will travel to Webb School. Westmoreland at 5 o'clock will be at Gordonsville. Also at 5, these games include Loretto at Giles County. Summit hosting Columbia. Ravenwood will welcome Independence. Collinwood is at Santa Fe. Station Camp is at Watertown. Columbia Academy at BGA. Mount Pleasant hosts Lewis County at 5:30 this evening. You'll see Springfield at Clarksville. Kenwood hosts Dixon County. Huntland at Eagleville at 6 o'clock. Other 6 o'clock contests include Gallatin at East Robertson. Moore County hosting Colioca. Middle Tennessee Christian at Murfreesboro Central Magnet. And they get the trophy for the longest 2 names today combined. Antioch at Stewart's Creek at 6. Greenbrier at White House. Good luck getting those on the scoreboards at that game tonight. White House Heritage is at White House Heritage. Thank you. Where are we? White House Heritage.
Hosting Sycamores.
Thank you very much. You have me highlighted. Thank you very much. DCA at Zion Christian at 6. Spring Hill at Marshall County. That's a 6:30 start. Also at 6:30, Green Hill at Mount Juliet. Blackman is at Oakland, Siegel at Riverdale, Rockville at Wilson Central, Lawrence County at Lincoln County is at 7 tonight. Boys soccer, we will see on the pitch this evening, or this afternoon actually, 1 o'clock, Coffee County at Spring Hill. We'll see maybe before this show's over. Might have a score. You never know. Hillwood and Martin Luther King, they'll start at 4:30. 5 o'clock, Hickman County. Don't hold your bets is what you're saying. Hickman County at Columbia Academy. Also at 5, Giles County will host Murfreesboro Central Magnet. DCA is a good pasture today. Nashville Christian will welcome Friendship Christian. At 5:30, you'll see Dixon County and Brentwood Academy. 6 o'clock, first touch include Laverne at Lebanon, Loretto hosting Wayne County, Stewart's Creek at Rockvale, Community is at Watertown, also Springfield at Clarksville Northeast. At 6:30, you'll see Columbia at Independence. At 7 tonight, by the way, Mo will be at that
I won't
game.
see it, but Mo will.
Mo will see that firsthand, and you can read of his firsthand take at Main Street Murray sometime overnight. Brentwood at Centennial, Valor Collegiate at Green Hill. These are 7 o'clock first touch. Also at 7, Independence Academy hosting Merrill Hyde. Wilson Central at Mount Juliet. Riverdale will welcome Blackman. Oakland at Siegel. Hendersonville's at Station Camp tonight at 7. And a couple other matches on tap for this Tuesday. Greenbrier is at Kenwood. Smyrna hosting Cookeville. Again, check your local front office for game times there. College baseball today, 5:30, SEC Network Plus. Tennessee will host Xavier at 6 on ESPN Plus. Lipscomb welcomes Tennessee Tech. Hot Belmont Bruins will be at Evansville at 6. And North Alabama, a.k.a. UNA, at Austin P at 6.
Also in progress, Columbia State is at Calhoun down in Alabama.
All right. Pro baseball, that would be the majors. The Cubbies are in Atlanta to take on the Braves. It'll be Freed for Atlanta, host against Stroman. 6:20, first pitch on Valley Sports South. And the Sounds are up in the great white north of St. Paul, Minnesota. Jeff Him, hopefully he layered up for that. We'll chat with him Friday, get his take on the weather up there. They will be in action at some point this evening. Do we know the start time for that yet?
6:07.
6:07?
It'll be,
all right.
And I believe Jason Alexander, not to be confused with the actor.
The actor?
Yeah, this is the AAA pitcher,
Gotcha. Jason
Alexander, who's 3-0 with a 2.40 ERA, will go for the Sounds, while Rodriguez takes the bump for St. Paul.
Okay. Hopefully that Jason Alexander will not do the opposite and will get the win.
That's right.
I guess, for a Seinfeld reference for those that want to think about that. NBA action tonight. It is Game 5. The Grizz hosting, speaking of Minnesota, the Timberwolves. 6:30 on TNT. This series tied at 2. Pivotal Game 5 tonight. Go grind them out, Grizz. And right here in this building at Bridgestone Arena, the Nashville Predators. Pivotal game tonight on the ice, 7 o'clock against Calgary. And you can see it on Valley Sports Southeast. Chris and I can see it in person tonight. Sorry, Mo.
And if you're going to be in the building and you want to come say hello, feel free. Reach out. You know our Twitters.
There you go, yeah.
We'd love to say hello.
Absolutely. And that is your Tuesday rundown. It is brought to you by Jim Davis at GrowLiveGive.com.
When we come back, Brad Willis is going to hang out with us. He's going to sit here in the hot seat, and we will talk to him about all of the cool stuff hanging from the ceilings and on the walls and in glass cases. All kinds of great stuff here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. So he'll join us here momentarily, so stick around. Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint will return after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, and JP Plant is on the end, punching all the buttons, and
On one end.
yeah, he's on that end.
On this end.
Over there.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in when we can. But glad to have you guys with us as we are live on location here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Again, just a fantastic venue for a sports talk show. There's no question there. And as we told you on the other side of the break, we are now joined by the executive director, I guess. Is that's the title? Brad Willis.
Days, won't they?
Well,
just give a title.
You know, what we do is just give ourselves titles and go for it.
Hey.
I mean, you just, if you put it on your email signature, it's
Email or
official.
business card. Nobody questions
It's official.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, it works for me. I don't know.
As I said earlier today, it's a lot easier to get forgiveness and permission.
100%.
So just throw it out there until somebody stops you. know?
Who's going to stop us?
Hey,
Nobody.
That's it.
Brad, this is a fantastic venue, man. We walk in here and you see, again, the faces of the most accomplished and well-known Tennesseans in sports history, and it's just really cool to know that something like this is available for anyone who wants to come in here, down here in downtown Nashville.
Well, you're nice to say that. And first of all, welcome. It's great to have you guys here. I love it when we're able to kind of mix my old life of sports talk radio and my new life here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame together. And so I love it anytime we're able to have some show here and talk about, you know, whether it's the Braves World Series trophy on the plaza this afternoon or, you know, kind of what we're doing at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. But, no, thrilled to have you guys. And, you know, thank you. We've been here in this location since 2000. The Hall of Fame has been an organization since 1966, but when they built out this part of Bridgestone Arena, they built right here in our little corner of the world, and a lot of what you find here is on loan from the Tennessee State Museum, and then a lot of what you find here we've accumulated over the last 20-plus years. And so it's when you walk through and you see, you know, the many names, it really is a testament to what sports means in this state. And frankly, not just the people who were born and raised here, but then, you know, people that came here and played collegiately or professionally who still make their home in, you know, in the mid-state or in, you know, any division of the state still today. So really excited to have you guys here, and hopefully it'll be a big day.
Hopefully it will be a big day. You know, these guys, again, are sticking around for the Flames and Predators later on tonight, and need to get some points out of that. But, yeah, it's a big night, big day regardless. Again, the trophy going to be out on the plaza here in a while. We're going to try to get some pictures with that. So we kind of had ulterior motives.
Oh, there's no question.
When we set this up, but at the same time, this is fantastic. I don't know that I've been here, and it's just, I mean, everything that Chris said, ditto. I mean, just within my view, I can see banners honoring Lynn Dunn, Carol Lawson, and Charles Davis, Mac Brown, you know, Philip Fulmer, Chad Clifton, anybody that you think
Anybody that's anybody,
of
huh?
in terms of athletics in this state is here, and it's fantastic.
Well, you're nice to say that. I mean, you know, there's still gaps. You know, you talk about all those names. There's still folks who, for one reason or another, may not be in our Hall of Fame yet. And you know, we've got you know, our bylaws basically say that you've got to be retired from your sport for 3 years or over the age of 50. And sometimes by the time people reach those thresholds, people assume that they've already been inducted. And we rely on the public or teammates or former coaches or players to nominate people. And so whenever the assumption begins and say, oh, they're already in, then sometimes you end up with these gaps with folks that aren't inducted. And somebody will say, oh, well, so-and-so, they're in, right? And you say, no, they're not. You know, let's get a nomination on the books. Let's talk about that. Harry Galbraith, who's going in as part of the class of 2022. Yeah, he was a guy that I think a lot of people just assumed he was already in, and Harry passed away in 2010, and so you know it's sad that we're not going to get to celebrate with him in person, but his family was overwhelmed and really happy that we're honoring his legacy. And he was a great example of someone that a lot of people never even nominated because they just assumed he was already in.
Absolutely. I got a chance to work with him for a little bit when he was coaching over at Tennessee State. Wonderful, wonderful individual, man. Definitely missed, and I'm glad that you all are finally getting around to honoring him. But yeah, I mean, not just you guys. That's kind of a thing with a lot of different halls of fame. It's like, they're not in,
right?
You know, and so I'm glad you mentioned Harry and his upcoming induction, because I know that you have a thing about letting people know how they are being honored.
One of my favorite parts of the job. You know, you're never delivering bad news when you're telling somebody they're going to be a part of a Hall of Fame, and so that's always a plus. And the pandemic really made us be creative for the last couple of years. I started with the organization in January of 2020. I had 2 months to hit the ground running and start to do some of these things, and then everything stopped. And in that 2 months, we got to go around and we went to Golf House, Tennessee, and we surprised Dick Horton with all of his friends there in the clubhouse. We went to Knoxville and surprised Heath Schuler in a media timeout with Tennessee and Florida playing basketball. We brought Jeff Fisher into a radio station, told him he was doing an interview about the combine, and kind of sprung it on him. And to me, a Hall of Fame is in many ways only as important as you make it. And I look at the names that are here, and when I think of people like Ed Temple, and when I think of people like Pat Summitt, and when I think about people like Ed Too Tall Jones and General Neyland, Peyton Manning, and it's like, this is a big deal, and not just for the people who live here and maybe were a witness to a lot of these things, but we're right here in the epicenter of tourism in downtown Nashville, adjacent to the visitor center and obviously a big part of Bridgestone Arena. And so we're really happy that we get to tell the story. And my office is right near the front door, and I'll hear people walk in, they'll go, oh, Reggie White, or whatever the case may be. There are connections with the athletes and the teams that really, brought positive attention to Tennessee that touch all points, across. And so, we're really lucky to be able to do that. Like I said, it's never a bad day to deliver good news.
Now, has the entire 2022 class been?
They have.
You care to wrap them up for us?
I can try to go off memory. There are 12 of them this year. Sharifa Barksdale, track and field from the University of Tennessee. She is just very involved in the Pan Am Games in the 80s. Just a phenomenal athlete. R.A. Dickey, baseball player from the University of Tennessee, Cy Young Award winner. They just celebrated him a couple of nights ago at First Horizon Park with the Nashville Sounds because he spent a season in Nashville. A lot of people forget that because his career went on to be such a great career. This is where my alphabetizing of people will maybe come in handy. Artis Hicks, an offensive lineman from the University of Memphis. I mentioned Harry Galbraith, Javon Curse, the Freak, the first ever draft pick, the Tennessee Titans. We have Randy Lambert, basketball coaching legend from Maryville College. David Legwand, first ever Nashville Predator drafted, and went on to spend, I believe, 17 years with the organization here and set almost every record that there was. They're only just now starting to fall. You've seen a couple fall within the last month.
All right.
Then we've got Nicky McCray-Penson, who played under Pat Summitt at the University of Tennessee. We have, let's see here, Tony White, played basketball at the University of Tennessee. The late David Williams II. David was very involved with the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. And Toby Wilt. And Toby played football and basketball at the University of Vanderbilt University. And one thing you might know Toby Wilt from is he's the starter at the Masters on the first hole. So when you hear "Four Please," now teeing off Tiger Woods, that's Toby Wilt. And Toby is a Nashville businessman who is really involved in getting the Music City Bowl started and several other ventures. And so it's a great class. Did I leave one out?
Yes, you did. Toby Wilt also co-founded the Golf Club of Tennessee over in Kingston Springs.
That's exactly right.
Trevecca's David
Sutter, 3,000-point scorer, Maplewood High School. Really short list of 3,000-point scorers in all divisions of NCAA basketball or college basketball. So we had a chance. He was one of the few that we got to surprise this year because Trevecca held an event where they honored him and a female basketball player from their history. And so we sprung it on him at halftime of a Trevecca game. And so it was a great honor and for him and great honor for us to be a part of it, and really excited that he's part of this group too.
No question. Yeah, you know, as you look around at all of these different displays, I can remember the first time I walked into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, the first time I walked into the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. As a kid who, you know, from Alabama, it's interesting to note all of the people who are either from here or have made an impact in Tennessee sports. You walk around and, like you said, you touch points across the entire country because they may not have played professional sports here. They are from here, and you go, wow, I didn't know he was from Tennessee. Or it's always a surprise. Speaking of surprises, when you walk around here and you go, oh wow, I didn't know that. Right. You can always learn something. TIL, right?
TIL learn.
So it's really unique when you find out something, you know, that you didn't know beforehand. And a lot of, especially youngsters, it can kind of put them in a place and kind of connect them with sports in Tennessee.
I agree. And one of the things that I absolutely love is when we have youth groups come. Mm-hmm. And a couple of the things I like to tell them are, one, just about every person, not every person, but so many of these people that are represented here at one point were in their shoes, right? They were big sports fans. They were kids. They practiced. And I want the kids to understand that sports in its purest form, especially when you talk about team sports, it teaches you leadership, it teaches you accountability, it teaches you all these things that you'll use throughout your life. And so those are the messages that I like to tell. And you talk about, you know, people who are from here that maybe you wouldn't even think about, like people see Steve Spurrier all the time. And they go, what's Steve Spurrier? I was like, well, he's from Johnson City, right? You got Tony Delk, who people probably best know from his time with the University of Kentucky, but he went to Haywood High in Brownsville. Then you're able to tell the great stories of people who check almost every box, and somebody like a Pat Summitt, born here, played collegiately here, coached here. You know, she touched it, and really, you know, one of arguably the greatest college basketball coach there ever was. So you're right. And to be able to tell youngsters that come through here on field trips or, you know, summer camps or whatever, you know, look around, because you're going to find somebody. And the great stories are the ones who, after athletics was over for them, they went back to that community that they were from, and they're still involved, and they're still giving back, or they're doing all these other things. They make their homes there now. And those are really a lot of the stories we tell. To me, some of the greatest stories we tell aren't the ones of the names that jump off the page at you, like Peyton Manning or somebody like that. We celebrate folks. I'll give you a great example. There's a young man we inducted in 2021. His name's Brandon Rowland. Brandon lost both of his legs below the knee at the age of 6. Was such a sports nut that he played t-ball and basketball and every other sport his parents would let him play on his knees until he simply couldn't keep up anymore. And at that point, he went to prosthetics. But in between, he's gone on to become a great, great golfer. But in between that time, he was discovered by a coach there in Jackson that ran a team called the Jackson Generals, which was a wheelchair basketball team. He led that team to 2 national championships and was tournament MVP, and we wanted to honor him. And he's, again, someone as you come in and you look at a banner and you see the name and the face, you say, well, I may not recognize him. But if you'd have told his parents at the age of, when he was at 6 years old, he'd just lost his legs, that he'd be in the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, they'd have told you were crazy. He said as much. My parents would have told you were crazy. But that's a great story of perseverance, and that's a great story of a community that really embraced a young man, and he's still there giving back today. And so those are the stories that we really, really like to tell.
Speaking with Brad Willis, the executive director of the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame here on Main Street Sports Today, Brad was kind enough to bring us a program here of the 2021 Hall of Fame induction class and ceremony. And as I'm looking through it at previous inductees, in 2012, someone by the name of Gene Bartow was inducted.
Yes.
Now, Coach Bartow obviously coached at UAB, and among other places. I didn't realize he was from here.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like I mentioned with Tony Delk, right? Mm-hmm. Someone came through the other day and said the same thing about Leonard Hamilton. Leonard Hamilton's from Tennessee. And, yeah, there's so many great stories of folks who came through. Class of 2020, great example, Coach Sonny Smith. Sonny was born in I believe, Mountain City, Roane County. Mm-hmm. And, obviously coached at ETSU for a time. And he told us when we inducted him, he said, I've been inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, and that one, was a great honor, and I totally expected it, but I never expected to get the call from my home state. And it really, really meant a lot to him because he still very much identifies as a Tennessean, by birth. So, yeah, there are a handful of names like Coach Bartow and Coach Smith and, like I said, Tony Delk, so many others that have graced us with either being born here or spent a time here athletically, and those are great opportunities to again reach an audience that may come in here not expecting to see anybody that they recognize, and then they come away going, hey, got a connection to somebody I didn't even realize.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on this month. Are you free admission right now?
We are, and
I walked in, so I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, River Gorge Ranch is a new community that's being built near Chattanooga, and so they are helping us out with free admission all the way through the end of June. So if you come here, we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and admission is free, and it's a self-guided tour. And I tell people all the time, you could zip through here in 2 minutes, or you could spend 4 hours here if you wanted to. To me, there's so much that interests me, especially when you think about the history of college football. I really feel like that the exhibit that is here, that's kind of on loan from the Tennessee State Museum, I think that's a really, really complete piece from the start of college football in the state until really the late 90s. College basketball is very well represented. We've got an exhibit or an entire gallery for Pat Summitt. And then we've got a full-size IndyCar. We have a Lombardi Trophy on loan from Jerry Reese. Lots of different things that people can see, and frankly, we have about 7,500 square feet here. The only problem with once you put a cap on your square footage is the story keeps growing. Every day there's somebody making a play, or there's somebody who's writing a chapter in their career. And so when you walk around, you'll see a lot of these interactive kiosks, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of expand the story a little bit there. So right now, you can we still have profiles from Black History Month. We have profiles from the 50th anniversary of Title IX, bio videos from our last 3 years worth of inductees, fight songs, big plays, all these things, and the kids come in and love, you know, fuddling around with the screens, and so it's really a nice way to expand, you know, our exhibit in a way that doesn't take up much more square footage.
We can't let you get away without making mention of something that you showed us over here on one of the interactive screens earlier.
That's right.
Of all of the people involved with the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, there's no one else that you could have welcome people into this place
than Mike
Keith.
I know, right? Mike is, I'll tell you, I've worked with Mike in a different life, if you will, since 2001. And during that time, when I had zero involvement with the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, I was aware of how passionate he was about this place. And as I came to entertain the idea of coming to work here, I actually sought him out, and I said, "This has really been important to you for a long time. Tell me why." And you know, he's a native. He grew up in Franklin, went to school in Knoxville, and he said, "You know, when I look at it, to me, it's just a living, breathing story of what sports is. And for those of us who care deeply about sports, it's more than a stat line. It's more than a highlight. You guys know as well as I do, there's something that gets deep inside of you that is part of your fiber when it comes to sports. And so people will come and they'll see these names and they'll remember memories from their childhood. They'll remember, you know, something that a coach told them as a kid that they still, you know, hold on to and still practice to this day. And so, you know, his whole thing was that's important. And so he's been an active part of the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame for over 20 years. Our board saw fit to induct him last year for his contributions, not just to the Hall of Fame, but to sports across the state. And so I reached out to him when we built out our kiosks, and I said, you know, you're the voice of the Titans, you're the voice of our banquet, and I'd love it if you'd be the voice of the front door, so to speak. So he's basically the old Walmart greeter for the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. Mike and I are both from Franklin.
That's
we
right.
kind of grew up together, so I take whatever shot whenever
You
I
should.
get an
You
opportunity.
absolutely should. Every chance you get.
Yeah, but yeah, he's fantastic. He's a friend of the show, and he might hear this.
He
maybe.
might.
So yeah,
He knows we love him.
yeah.
Brad, thank you so much, man, for taking some time with us here. We appreciate it. It's a fantastic venue. Again, if you guys can get down here to Bridgestone Arena, we're obviously right here on the corner of Broadway and 5th, right?
That's right.
Broad-
John Lewis Way and Broadway now.
Oh, that's right. It's John Lewis. I forgot
right.
about that.
Yep.
And so you can make your way down here. It's absolutely free to get in. Just walk into the Needle and keep walking.
That's right. And I'll tell people, go check out our website, which is tshf.net. Our golf tournament's in June, our banquet's in July, and you can be a part of it. It's all right there at our website.
There you go. Brad, thanks, man. We appreciate it. We will talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Jimbo Fisher because, well, he's got an issue with the NIL, which, you know, surprise, surprise, he's got an issue with anything. That and a couple of surprising names in ownership with Nashville Soccer Club. All that and more on the other side. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, comes back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Mopat and JP Plant here live at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. A free admission through the month of June. Is that what he said? I believe it was. Courtesy of some developers in Chattanooga.
River Gorge.
River Gorge, that's it. Yeah, River Gorge. New community in Chattanooga. So if you, I'm just going to keep calling it that here on this show at this point. As we talk about on this show quite a bit, name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal and all of the things that go with college football these days, it's a different world than we've ever seen before. Mainly because I guess the payments are above board at this point. And I think a lot of people are upset about that because it's only going to make those who were paying players better. And it's not really changing anything per se long term, because the big players are always going to be the big players because they've got the money to do it. And the boosters have the money to do it. So Jimbo Fisher, obviously number one recruiting class in the country, ironically, right after NIL is made legal. Now, you tell me why he would have an issue with name, image, likeness payments, because clearly, certainly helping him and his Aggies.
It's not, well, I won't say it's not hurting him, but maybe it's leveling the playing field a little bit more.
Is it, though? I think that's his concern.
Is that it's going to?
Yeah.
And it probably is. I mean, that makes plenty of sense because self-preservation is, it's a thing.
Sure. So. And you see things like Nico, and you watch Tennessee with their NIL collective start making some moves, and so now Tennessee is back into they're more mainstream with the youngsters than they would have been, because obviously Tennessee hasn't been relevant in football in a decade plus.
Right.
So now that they are, you've got even more Southeastern Conference football teams who are right there with the top echelon in recruiting because they can pay the players to be there.
Yeah. And again, maybe that's Jimbo's issue, that he's worried about other folks catching up to him because, basically everybody in the SEC can be a player, even more so now. So, but it's really disingenuous, though.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's cool for us, but not good for you. You shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. I just NIL and the transfer portal collectively have split the college football fan base pretty heavily at this point. And there's a faction of college football fans who love it and a faction who hate it. And to me, a big portion of that is age. I think a lot of younger folks are all for it, and the older generations are split a little more down the middle.
I don't know if down the middle is the right place, just because I think that the older generation was more used to things being the way they were when the game was tilted so far in favor of establishment, basically. Coaches, administration, everybody but the players. And so now, with it being leveled to some degree, with the players having a little bit more say, with the players receiving some type of benefit for what they put into it, all of a sudden, for some people, that's an issue.
Whether it should be or not.
Yeah.
So, you're to me, this is not something that is going to go away. It may be better regulated in the future.
I think NIL and the transfer portal both need some type of tweaking. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think both of them at this moment are problematic. I don't think it's a sky is falling type thing. And when I hear people say this is going to be the ruination of college athletics and that kind of thing, I just kind of look at
claiming it already has ruined it. A lot of folks saying that.
I don't know what the basis is for that. I mean, what's ruined? They're still going to tee it up in August,
They're
right?
still going to tee it up in August.
So, I mean.
And Alabama's still going to be right there at the end.
So, I don't know who it's ruined for. Unless it's a fan, maybe. I don't know. Because now you're looking out there and you know the guys are actually being paid. How does that change your view?
Doesn't affect you.
How does that change your viewing of the sport?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
That's because I'm not the person to ask.
Because you're not the person that's saying it.
I'm not
so
the
maybe,
one who's saying it. Yeah.
maybe we need to get somebody on that is saying it. And
perhaps. Let's have a conversation. I would love to hear the rationale behind some of these thoughts.
I think that's part of the problem, though.
There's not any rationale. no logic. It's an illogical situation.
That's it.
Oh, man. Well, before we get to the second half, real quick, I want to mention Derrick Henry and Reese Witherspoon, not with her knife, Witherspoon, part of the Nashville Soccer Club ownership group as of yesterday, and I love the video that Henry did. It was really cool, putting on the jersey and that sort of thing. Just it was really neat.
Derrick Henry in a soccer jersey.
I'm telling you, it's unique. But
what would a soccer team do if Derrick Henry showed up on the pitch?
I mean, could you imagine? Like, he just takes off running down the side and you just kick it to him because he's going to outrun everybody. What does a goalie do when he kicks it at him?
If he has any dribbling skills at all.
At all. I mean, and really he doesn't even have, as long as if you kick it to him across the field diagonally where he can just let it get to his right foot and go, no thank you. I'm not going to try to stop it.
He'd be offsides.
Because there's no way you could kick it as fast as he can run.
Yeah. So, man.
But Reese Witherspoon also involved in that with her husband, and
what's his name, Chris?
I have no idea. I was kind of hoping, she didn't have a husband. I'm trying to hook her up with some friends of mine or something. That
with
way
some
I
friends.
could. That way.
With some friends.
That way I could, be friends with Reese Witherspoon.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some single friends who would be perfect for her.
Jim Toth.
Ah.
Yeah.
Toth.
Toth. T-O-T-H.
Okay. Not Ron Felipe.
She and her husband Jim Toth later welcomed son Tennessee.
Look at there. I'll tell you, it's very interesting how she has embraced the Southern culture. So, Sweet Home Alabama really did it for her.
Well, yeah.
I mean, anyway, let's take a break. Chip Walters is awaiting our return, so we'll come back as quickly as possible to hang out with Chip on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint.
Welcome in, everybody, to another fantastic edition of Mornings on Main Street. Fun show planned for today. Please tell me you know who this is.
Of course I know who it is. I mean, I just want you, let's say it together.
You have no idea, do you?
Your car broke down, you're walking.
That's true.
Hey, what
Is this thing on?
Hold on a second, Chris. Hey, what did I tell you about comedy?
Right.
Let's do comedy.
Make sure that's funny.
It gotta be funny. I figure it's easier. It's harder for you to say no if you do this live.
I'm still waiting to meet you with the crystal, so I'll take anything.
We'll get it all done there. Thank you. As the voice of the crowd will be me as Bob Hope, and has that cute well with the pearl necklace is.
So I'm going to be Russell Brand, and I just want to go ahead and give a preface of it might be really annoying. So
Okay.
All right.
It's preface.
Preface.
Preface is what happens when your girlfriend's going out on the town and you're like, hey, get ready. Say, gotta put my face on. Grilled ground lamb and beef wrapped in lavish and topped with a savory tomato
It's
sauce.
lavash.
What is that?
Lavash.
I told you, you're dealing with the redneck country boy on this side over here of the screen.
That's okay.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant, and on the line, as he is every Tuesday, we talk with the voice of the Blue Raiders. Choose Chip Walters. Chip, what's going on, man?
Not much. You guys are in the fancy digs today, right?
We are. We're living life, man. This is fantastic. We've done we've taken the show on the road on numerous occasions, but I don't think we've been anywhere as nice as this.
No.
So, yeah.
It is. It's very special, and I tell you, Brad and his staff have done a terrific job with the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, and I know they've got their dinner coming up in July, so that'll be exciting for the next class to be inducted.
Yeah. Looking at last year's Hall of Fame induction class, a lot of MTSU flavor to that one. I'm sure we've talked about it, but again, big ad in here from MTSU congratulating Mike Caldwell and Alicia Clark, and I think there was one other MTSU-related honoree that
Anastasia Hayes was in there.
There we go. Yeah.
Her efforts.
Yeah, Anastasia was the amateur female athlete of the year. Alicia was the pro female athlete of the year, and Mike Caldwell was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. So,
and I was fortunate to get to kind of conspire with Brad on letting Mike Caldwell know. We did a Zoom call after the Super Bowl, and kind of under the guise of doing something for middle about having a Super Bowl champion who was a linebacker coach for Tampa Bay and all that. And all of a sudden, we kind of did the Chris Collinsworth slide in with Brad, who then spilled the beans, and it was cool because we really caught Zeke off guard on that one, and he's just such an outstanding guy, and now he's a defensive coordinator now, right?
He is a defensive coordinator of the Jaguars.
That's correct.
Which, good luck. But also former MTSU assistant Casey Rogers is, I think, co-defensive coordinator at Tampa Bay now. Is that right, Chip?
That's correct. Yeah, I saw where he had moved up and taken that position. Casey was here. He played at Tennessee and was here for a few years under Coach McCollum, and then left here and went to the Cowboys, and he has been in the NFL ever since. Did you guys say that there was a child first name Tennessee?
We did.
I've only known one other person that had the first name of Tennessee. His last name was Tuxedo.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Ford.
Well, that would be Tennessee Ernie Ford. That's correct. Ernie was his middle name, I guess.
Well, Tennessee Williams.
Oh yeah,
there you go. Absolutely.
But no, Reese Witherspoon's son is Tennessee. So
Tennessee Toth.
Yeah,
that's his name. Tennessee Toth. That's a heck of a
old name. Double T.
Double J. Jeff Jarrett. What?
Goodness.
We're off the rails already.
Chip,
Thanks, Chip.
What's the latest in Murfreesboro, Chip?
Well, it's the latest is a couple of the spring sports are. We'll get into baseball in just a minute, but congratulations to Jimmy Borendame and the men's tennis team. They won their third straight Conference USA championship this past weekend, and for Coach Borendame, interestingly enough, is that victory on Sunday against Charlotte was his 200th as head coach at Middle, and it came on a day when he won a championship. So they'll be finding out next Monday where they're going for their regional, and it could actually be right here in Murfreesboro. We'll have to see because they've got a pretty good RPI. Men's golf had not a great first round yesterday, but they have made up a little ground today. They are at 9 over par, and right now in a tie for 7th in the Conference USA Golf Championships over in Texarkana. Not sure if that's in Texas or Arkansas, but or straddling the border, one of the three. But the good thing is they're only 6 shots out of 4th, which is where you want to be to get into match play on Thursday. And that was what then determines the champion. So
I think the front 9 is in Texas and the back 9 is in Arkansas.
There you go. I think that's excellent. Boy, we were ringing the bell today numerous times.
The Daily Dingers on brought to you by Chip Walters right now.
The article on the website, GoBlueRaiders.com, has a dateline of Texarkana, Texas. So.
Okay, so we'll go with that.
So maybe the clubhouse
is. I told you.
For the 19th hole is, and so that's where it's being written from probably. But there's that, and today Middle's best golfer was Nick Wolf, who, as you know, is Bunny Donnelly Wolf's son, who played at UT Martin and then is a grad transfer at Middle. Baseball was scheduled to play UT Martin tonight. That game has been canceled. No reason given and no makeup date has been set. But the Blue Raiders find themselves now in baseball in 4th place in Conference USA as they have won 5 straight conference series, including winning 2 out of 3 on the road at Louisiana Tech this past weekend. And Tech had been perfect at home through the conference season. And Middle was the first one to get a single win, much less 2 wins, and now come home to play UTSA, who is a team that is right in front of them in the standings. So it works out pretty good for Jim Toman and company because they have an opportunity to to make up ground. If they could win 2 out of 3, they would end up tying with UTSA for third. If they could sweep, they could move into second place, as high as second place before the weekend's over. So a lot of good things could happen depending on how it all falls out. But looks like good weather this weekend. We'll get back warm again. And I think games at 6, 2, and 1 on the weekends. But all of that's on GoBlueRaiders.com. But we'll kick off the weekend Thursday night with the 11th annual Raiders Choice Awards. It's our version of the ESPYs, and it's we're for the first time in 3 years we are back in front of a live audience. We had to do it virtually the last 2 years, but in Tucker Theater, the athletes will be arriving on the blue carpet for interviews and photographs and all of that before they head into the building for the award ceremony, and got all kinds of cool video things that we're showing. The whole stage ends up being a video board with and it's really the star of the show, with and Nathan Wallach and his crew do an outstanding job of producing all the video for it. It's pretty slick, and it'll be broadcast live on YouTube and on Facebook, very much like this very show. It'll be on the stream out there live on Thursday night starting at 7 o'clock.
All due respect to JP, I do feel like that will probably be better, but we're pretty.
I don't know. JP does it every day.
JP does it every day, and he does a bang-up job.
I know where you're going, Mo, and I appreciate. Yes, yeah. But the folks there have quite the more robust budget.
Everything.
Yeah, we'll say yes, yes. We do well with what
we do use the we do use the production truck, which you guys have seen before, and it's pretty
state of the art.
It's ESPN quality, and we'll use that to produce everything. So it'll be fun, and we got some kind of really cool former Blue Raider student athletes coming back as presenters this year. So don't want to let that cat out of the bag just yet, but we'll have all the winners next week. We can tell you who they all are.
That'll work. We look forward to that.
We do, in fact. Chip Walters here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Chip, where is your display? Is it?
Is it
around
that's
the corner?
something. That's. I think it's over in the. There's a janitorial closet nearby there.
It's
probably
in
there.
In the
it's
the
in
pyramid.
this door that you can't see right here.
It's in the pyramid behind us.
His and Pernell Knox's are both in
right
there.
next door to each other.
When we were coming down here, Pernell Knox, the athletics director over at Columbia Academy, told us to be sure and get a picture with his display, and we've not quite.
Well, I would echo those sentiments.
Yet, but yeah,
we will. Absolutely. Chip, man, thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and we look forward to next week and hearing all about the Raiders Choice Awards.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the second half with Braves talk, because the trophy will be outside here momentarily.
the trophy will be outside, and we're starting to see folks.
That's right.
Awaiting the trophy and tripping on us.
That's right. Gotta love the Braves stuff. So we'll talk a little bit about the Braves-Cubs series coming up here in just a few moments, and then we will try to get Pete Weber on the line as well. And it's Top 5 Tuesday, Top 5 Hollywood Duos coming your way right after this. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick around. This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best-looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Welcome in. We made it to the second half here at the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame on Main Street Sports today. Coming up in the second half, Pete Weber hopefully will be dropping by from his office just mere feet away in the building. So hopefully we'll talk with him coming up shortly. Also, this day in Braves history and the Daily Braves Reports brought to you by Insert Your Business Here. We are taking all callers. Also, Top 5 Tuesday. This is going to be a fun one, guys. We had sports duos last week. This week, Hollywood duos. So stay tuned. That's all coming up on the second half here at Main Street Sports today. Now, right back over this way to the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton, with the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, and we are coming to you from the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, a fantastic venue for a sports talk show, no question about it. Mo, let's talk a little bit about the Braves, as our friends with Braves gear have come in and taken a trip around the Hall of Fame here. Braves welcome to Cubs. Like I said yesterday, it should be an excellent opportunity to get right. And starting today with Max Fried. I mean, Max Fried is a guy that you expect to, the way he pitched in his last outing, you certainly feel like he has an opportunity to help get your team back on the right track.
Oh, no question. You know, don't let that 1-2 record fool you. Focus more on that 3.50 ERA.
Right.
I mean, he's getting back closer to.
And it's going down every inning.
It's coming down. It's trending in the right direction. And again, we continue to talk about the shortened spring training and the fact that some of these guys are just now getting the innings under them that they would have gotten in Florida under normal circumstances. Sure. And so I think that's been as big an issue for Max as it has been for anybody on that staff. And so just look for him to come out and continue working in that direction, and hopefully getting these guys off to a good start in this 3-game series against a pretty tough customer in Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, Marcus Stroman, a really, really good pitcher, and probably the ace of that Cubs rotation. And but again, you've got your ace going exactly what you want. You're at home. It's an opportunity to really focus and get some things worked out in your lineup, especially now that Eddie Rosario has been ruled out for the next couple of months with, I guess, LASIK surgery. It said laser eye surgery. I don't know if that means they're putting lasers in his eyes or if they're actually going.
He's out for how long?
A couple of months.
I don't know how long.
Couple
he's
of
out.
months.
I hadn't seen that.
It can't be just LASIK.
No, I don't think it is. It's some type of retinal.
Okay.
It's an eye surgery. It's not because he wants to get not wear glasses.
No.
It's corrective.
It's laser surgery. Yeah.
Okay. Laser, not LASIK. So
yes.
I think it's something a little bit more involved.
Yeah, LASIK, you can be back in a couple of days.
Haven't really seen all the details on it, but I tell you, it's interesting looking at the rest of this series. I don't know if you've seen the Thursday matchup, but Kyle Wright, he of the 2-0, 1.06 ERA, goes to the bump for Atlanta. In the Thursday finale of this series, he will oppose Drew Smiley.
Oh, I thought,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's what I just said.
That is interesting. It is, in fact. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, interesting. You know, and I fully expect to see Sean Newcomb at some point in this series.
We can hope.
I hope we see Sean Newcomb at some point in this series. Of course, he'll come in and throw 3 scoreless and be done.
And then give us the diamond cutter as he walks off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
it'll be exactly what you expect from a former Braves player who always takes advantage of playing against their former team and
sure.
kicks our rear ends almost every single time. It's awful, nonetheless.
Yeah. Have you seen a starting lineup yet?
I've not seen the starting lineup for today's action. I have not checked Braves Twitter as of at any point today, so I could not tell you. I'm curious who will be starting in the corners.
Well, I can tell you. Ozuna in left, Travis Demerit in right.
Okay.
Duvall in center. Alex Dickerson will be the DH.
I was wondering if Dickerson might get to play some out in the field, but apparently not.
Apparently, as bad as they say Ozuna is in the field,
He's
apparently
worse.
Dickerson is worse.
So there you go.
So, yeah.
I'd almost play Arcia out there instead. I don't know.
Well, you need to play him somewhere, and clearly shortstop isn't
It's not going to happen.
So might as well be in the outfield. Albies, Olsen, Riley, Ozuna, TDA, Dickerson, Duvall, Demerit, and Swanson is your starting lineup tonight. Wow. For the Bravos.
With Freed on the bump.
Yeah.
right.
William Woods, right-handed pitcher, recalled to replace Rosario on the active roster.
William Woods. I'm not familiar.
Well, I don't think he's been long in AAA. I think he's been in AA primarily.
Gotcha. Okay. So he's a young guy.
Yeah.
Young guy we've called up, right-handed pitcher. That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Willie Woods.
Rosario saw a retinal specialist today and will undergo a laser procedure to correct blurred vision and swelling in his right eye.
Well, I guess that explains the 116 batting average.
And the defensive struggles that he's had.
It does, in fact. Absolutely.
But here's the thing. I mean, he's having trouble seeing the ball, and he still hit 116.
There's that. I mean, it's almost a positive now. The 116 just flipped from a negative to a positive. Dude, you're seeing 3 balls, and you still hit one of them every now and then.
And so there you go.
That's great news. Tell us what happened this day in Braves history, because apparently the next few it's been the Reds for like. Are you just trying to get over that season opening series? And you're just trying to get through it. Tell us what happened this day.
Hey, I'm just taking what I'm dealt, man. On August 26, 1959, Cincinnati.
Chucky, I was 11 days old.
Oh.
11 days old.
Okay.
Look at there.
Cincinnati reliever Willard Schmidt became the first major leaguer to be hit by a pitch twice in one inning, as Milwaukee starter Lou Burdett and Braves reliever, I left out his name.
And
Bob Rush.
Oh, Rush.
Each plunked Smith during the third inning of an eventual 11-10 win by the host Reds.
Dang.
Yeah.
We were in the bullpen in the third and still almost won the game.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, damage control apparently. Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this segment. We'll be back after this on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all stick with us. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. As we await the arrival of Pete Weber, who we hope will be sitting in the hot seat here at some point before the end of the show. No big deal if he's not, but we'd love to talk to him because we do want to talk a little bit about the Nashville Predators who take on the Calgary Flames, and we've got some if-then statements. And we all know if you're a fan of this show and you've been listening for a while, you know the if-then statements just happen to be my favorite type of statement.
Love some if-then. Hashtag if-then.
That's right. Hashtag if-then, hashtag Captain Chaos. So that's what I'm here for, is all the if-then statements. And so the Predators who take on the Calgary Flames tonight, and Dallas takes on visiting Vegas. This is kind of, the Predators, Vegas, and Dallas are the three teams vying for the wild card spots.
For spots.
Right, there are two spots.
Two spots.
Three teams.
Okay.
Here's the thing. You want to be in the first wild card spot.
Not the second.
You don't want to have to go to Colorado in round one. So what you're going to see tonight is the Preds are going to be playing their rear ends off. But here's the thing. Preds need to keep winning, no matter what. They've got 3 games left. They need to win them.
One of which, by the way, is at Colorado.
Exactly. So your issue here is that if you win, you kind of hope Dallas wins too, or Dallas loses. You kind of hope Vegas wins, because if you win and Vegas wins, it doesn't hurt you. If you lose and Vegas wins, then we got some issues, because you still need 2 more points, and then you only got 2 games left, and you got to beat either Arizona
and again,
or Colorado.
one of them's at Colorado.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really you're really rooting for Vegas to win, so long as you can take care of business here at Bridgestone.
But you have to take care of business regardless.
Again, and the reason being is because you do not want to have to play a series against the Avalanche. They're by far the best team in the league this year, and the Predators have not been great over the last month, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I just saw a tweet from Brooks Batten. Preds head coach John Hines says Matthew Olivier will enter the lineup tonight in place of Eli Tolvanen. So UC Staros will start in goal tonight, so at least we don't have to watch Rittich play JP. Tolvanen has struggled to score, but everything else he does is pretty good. All Olivier really does is hit people and take penalties, go to the box. Well, here's the problem. That's the Preds' issue, is they're in the box too much. So now you're putting another guy on the ice tonight who's going to do nothing but put you in bad situations.
Meanwhile,
against a good team.
Meanwhile, the Predators are 5-7 in April, by the way.
It's not been great.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't much better last month. This has not been the run they had in January and early February has not spilled over into the springtime.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said the other day. How much do you really want this team to make the playoffs?
Almost not at all. I'd almost just assume not make the playoffs.
Because, it's just another 2 weeks that you invest in them.
Have to deal with watching them because you want, and playoff hockey's a different animal. But again, as Teresa Walker has told us a number of times, all you got to do is get in. Because the last team to get in in 2017 was the Nashville Predators. They went to the number 1 seed and took care of business. And the next year were the number 1 seed and took care of. So the number 1 seed not always all it's cracked up to be, Mo.
7-5 in March.
Okay, so they're 500 over the last 2 months.
Wait a minute. 9-5 in March.
Oh,
I missed the last 2. Yeah.
That's better than I thought they were.
It's better than 7-5.
It is, in fact.
Yeah.
2 better, as a matter of fact. So, I'm curious how tonight's going to go. I'm not sure I agree with John Hines, but the next hockey game I coach will
be your first. So there you go. Yeah, leave it to the experts.
Yeah, he's got a team currently, slated to go to the playoffs in the National Hockey League. So, of course, half the league goes in the NHL, but that's neither here nor there.
I still think John Hines has them in better shape than Chris Yao would.
With this talent, I'm not sure that it would matter a whole lot. I think we'd be 500 either way. Heck, I got 2 guys out there who can score 40 goals a year. I'll be all right.
I think you're giving yourself a lot of credit.
Hey, look. All right, fellas, listen. Here's your 5. Here's your 5. What do you guys think we should do? Oh, that sounds great. Let's do that. Whatever you guys say.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do Top 5 Tuesday. What do you say?
Speaking of 5.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Top 5 Tuesday and go right into it. No need to take a break here. What do you say? You good with that, JP?
Yeah, come on.
We only got 9 minutes left.
I'll be making my my thoughts. Sure, I'll come up with something.
You've had a week.
I had a week.
We did. We told him this last Tuesday.
Yeah. You literally had a week.
Had a week.
So he can't.
I got no excuse.
He can't yell at us anymore and say,
no
it's
excuse.
definitely our fault. No, it's not our fault at all. Okay, well, let's do it then. I got my 5. As you can see.
All right, get started. I'll pipe in with
all
something.
Right. Of course, you'll pipe in.
Yeah, that's
let's
what I do.
Let's talk about the Top 5 Tuesday, brought to you by our friends at Mid-South 5 Fitness. 2 great locations, 1 in Columbia, 1 in Franklin. Go see them, steelathletes.com. That's STEEL athletes.com. Dallas still in the game, keeping you in shape all year long.
If you don't want to give summer whatever body it's going to get over to Mid-South 5 Fitness.
Come on.
There you go. Yeah, all right.
Let's count them down.
Top 5 Hollywood duos.
All right, what you got?
My number 5 is Craig and Smokey.
Ooh, Craig and
Ice
Smokey.
Cube and Chris Tucker from Friday.
That's pretty good.
That's a great one.
That's pretty good.
That's just, yeah. I can't believe that's number 5.
Wow.
There you go. It's a deep roster.
Clearly. My number 5 is the characters Cagney and Lacey, because I don't know who played them, but those 2 names are synonymous when you think of Hollywood duos. Oh, who you think you are? Cagney and Lacey?
Tyne Daly and Sharon Gless, I believe.
Yeah, I have no idea. But seriously, when you say that, you're like, oh, you think you are? Cagney and Lacey? Well,
yeah, that's a good one. And that is who they are, actually.
Look at you.
I watch it, too.
It's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
JP, you got any thoughts off the top of your head? Bo and Luke, is that number 5?
I do have what I think to be number 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to hold off.
Keep going until you get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys are triggering some thoughts, though.
Okay.
That hamster's spinning up there somewhere.
Well,
I knew I smelled something. All right. My number 4 is Danny Glover and Mel Gibson.
Ooh.
Lethal Weapon.
Ooh.
Yes. I could not remember Gibson's character's name in there, but Murtaugh. Yeah,
there we
It's
go.
a good one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I told you it's a deep. So who's your?
I
number?
would have had the others ahead of that, but that's
Oh,
because,
you would have had Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Yeah, but
ahead?
that's because I was younger when Friday came. I mean, it was it was more in my formative years.
Oh yeah.
Than Lethal Weapon. So,
okay.
My number 4 is De Niro and Pacino. They weren't in a whole lot of movies together, but they're almost synonymous with one another. I mean, did very similar movies as one another, but they also played the same type of character. But the one movie that they were in together, and I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. Oh my goodness.
Were they in Goodfellas?
Heat.
Oh,
Heat.
yeah.
That was the first one that I remember, and they were just phenomenal in that. And there was another one more recently that they did together that I really liked. Righteous Kill. That's Righteous Kill. Great movie. All right. That's my number 4.
JP.
I got one I can throw out
got a
there.
4?
Yeah. Sergeant Mahoney and Sergeant Hightower, Police Academy.
That's a
yes.
That is.
Yes. There you go. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
My number 3. One of these guys can go to the Oscars, one can't. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Bad Boys.
That's my number 3 too.
Oh gosh.
Bad Boys, Bad Boys.
What you gonna do?
What
you gonna do when they come for
I mean, no way. If you're gonna sing it, know the words.
Now that's how you're supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
I can't say my favorite my favorite line from it because there's a cuss word in it, and
I ain't going back.
That's a good part where he
Reggie.
Yeah, where Reggie comes up to the door and Will's sipping on some liquor. Oh, it's so good.
Oh God.
Anyway, that's
number 3.
Nah, keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm done to my 1.
Oh,
Yep.
He had a 3. He had a 4 and a 1.
Which he was hoping to come up with something in between.
Why
them.
that wouldn't make 4 2?
It
It's
does.
beyond me. But okay. All right.
I told you, Bo and
Thank
Luke.
My number 2, and this is more like a 1 and a 1A, but my number 2, Denzel Washington and Don Cheadle, Devil in a Blue Dress. Have you seen the movie?
I've not seen the movie,
You
but
gotta
those
see
two
the
those
movie.
two together are just. I mean,
Yeah. It's good stuff. What's your number 2?
my number 2 is Affleck and Damon. One, they're just again. Even in the movies they're not in together, they're almost synonymous with one another. I mean, Good Will Hunting, they're phenomenal. The Town, so good. That's a great movie. If you've not seen The Town, you got to see The Town.
Okay.
So. JP, did you find anybody else?
I've got a number 2.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go with Annie Savoy and Nuke LaLoosh. Evie Calvin,
Of course.
Nuke LaLoosh.
All right,
Yep.
Nuke.
Annie Savoy. Yep.
I was,
Not Crash and Nuke, Annie and Nuke.
You want to announce your presence with authority, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
all right, here we go.
Yep.
Number
While breathing
1,
out of his left eyelids.
Yeah. And
Just
wearing
like
garters.
Fernando.
And wearing garters.
And wearing garters, yep.
Yes. Because you don't mess with the street.
Do not mess with the street.
Okay. Number 1, Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Or Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. Pick one.
Your choice.
Yeah.
They were great together.
48 hours. If you've not seen it, see it. Because, again, it's a little old, kind of like me. What's your number one?
You talking about old? I'm going way back.
Where are you going?
The longest running television show in history. Barney and Andy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Doesn't shock me you went there.
No, it should not shock anyone that I went there.
That's not a bad duo.
Okay.
Barney and Andy, baby.
That might be the original duo.
Or Barney and his one bullet, one of the two. Yep. I'm not sure which one is the better of the duos.
All right, well worth the wait. You guys ready?
Uh-oh.
Is it?
Oh.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Elwood and Joliet J.
okay.
Blues.
Yep. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, the Blues Brothers.
Okay. On a mission from God, right?
They
That's
are on a mission from
God.
Yeah, there you go. My bad. Yeah.
Live from the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, this has been Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. That was Top 5 Tuesday, brought to you by Mid-South 5 Fitness, again, SteelAthletes.com, STEELathletes.com.
We're about to go get our pictures taken.
We're going to go get our picture took in about 30 minutes. Hopefully we can get in the line. Hopefully it's not too big of a line yet, but there might be. I don't know.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. Somebody, we'll have to do a recon to see if we need to get in line. And
one
then
of
break
us
down
might have to go get in line.
Yeah, and then
and
wait
hold
for
a
the
spot.
other. There we go. That may be the way to do it. But anyway, if you're not down here and you want to get your picture taken with the Atlanta Braves World Series trophy from 2021, you can do just that here on John Lewis and Broadway.
From 4 to 8, right?
From 4 to 8. From 4 to 6, I believe, is going to be on the plaza outside of Bridgestone right here by the Needle.
Mm-hmm.
And
then it's going to move inside.
Then it will move inside for the hockey game tonight. So, again, if you guys want to hang out and you want to say hello to JP or myself, feel free. Shoot us a message or a tweet. We'd love to come say hello, and we will see you tonight at that game. If you want to see Mo, you can go to
Come on
Independence
down
Soccer,
to Independence, yeah.
where he will be signing autographs during intermission.
Yeah, as Columbia Central goes for the number 1 seed in the
They're coming
district.
for what? Coming for the
number 1 spot. There we go. Yes, in the upcoming district tournament
I'm
down
no Bob
there.
Costas, but I can quote Ludacris too.
On that note, let's wrap it up.
Oh, JP and Mo, I'm Chris. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks to the Hall of Fame and Brad Willis.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.